Fantasy Philosophers is brought to you by fantasy-info.com.
The 49ers and Vikings faced off on Sunday Night Football in the second week of the preseason. Brett Favre made his debut, only played, I believe, 4 snaps. He was 1 for 1 on his completions for 13 yards. However, he did get sacked by IDP stud Patrick Willis. Adrian Peterson, there's been a lot of movement. Hey, is he going to be even more of a valuable fantasy running back because of Chester Taylor being gone now that he's going to have the third down role? Well, Patrick Willis ran straight through him on that pass block. He's going to have to do a lot better in his pass protection because it was way too easy to get to Brett Favre with the blocking that he put together on that. So he needs to shore that up. Anthony Dixon started this game for the 49ers at running back. Brian Westbrook and Frank Gore did not play. Dixon early on, he had a 4-yard touchdown run. That was nice to see. Overall, his stats weren't that appealing. He had 20 carries, 51 yards. He did have the touchdown, 3 catches for 8. But don't be surprised if something should happen to Gore, that it's Dixon getting the bulk of the work and Westbrook just being the third down back. I wouldn't be surprised at all if they use Westbrook as just the third down back because of the health concerns that he has with the concussions and things like that. It would make sense to just use him at a limited amount of touches. But we'll just have to see how that plays out. But Anthony Dixon, again, still a name to remember as we're moving along through the season. Ted Ginn Jr. did have 2 catches in this game for 65 yards. One was looks like a 60-yard catch. That was from Nate Davis in the second half of the game. So I do expect him to help this offense out. However, I don't think that he's fantasy relevant, but it was good to see him put that together early on in this one. The other player that was worth noting in this one was Henderson, the middle linebacker for the Vikings. Looks like he had, I believe, 7 tackles in this one. So that was really good to see out of him. He obviously had the injury last year. We didn't know that he would even be out there at this point in time, E.J. Henderson. And he did go out there. He started, and he played pretty darn good. So it looks like he's a guy that, hey, if you can get him cheap for IDP leagues as a backup player, that would be really nice. And if you can get him as a cheap starter, that's not too bad as well.
For more fantasy football information, go to fantasy-info.com and sign up for our free e-newsletter. Good luck in your 2010 Fantasy Football League. As an added bonus, the Fantasy Info guys will include their 5 secret tips for success in fantasy football with your free subscription.